like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GTV Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have yourself to blame, y'all. Cricket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth off LDBC. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
They got him. Press 2 in the comment section if y'all can hear me. Press 2 in the comment section if y'all can hear me. A lie always gonna get exposed. A lie always gonna get exposed. That's why I told y'all, everybody that was in this case, come to my channel day after day after day on ticket, whining like little babies about the jury. I told you, don't worry about the jury. Don't worry about it. The great one is here. I ain't worried about the jury. That's why I told y'all, I ain't worried about the jury. Diddy's legal team was fighting so hard. Whoa! They were fighting so hard to keep this juror on. They fought tooth and nail to keep this juror on, ladies and gentlemen. And it backfired as the judge just ruled that they found that the juror was lying and kicked his ass off the case as Diddy's team was fighting tooth and nail to keep this juror on the case. And I told y'all, Diddy's team is going ballistic in the court right now. They're going ballistic. Diddy's team have lost it in the court right now. They are going ballistic right now. They are very upset as the juror got caught lying, red-handed. And I told y'all this. They just threw the juror ass out of the trial. I told y'all, and I'm finna let y'all know exactly what happened. The government said we moved to introduce these exhibits under seal. So the government have introduced some exhibits under seal that's going to be revealed next week. What big bang does the government have at the end to close out this case? They've already wrapped up the Rico today. They wrapped up the Rico with that witness today. Diddy's legal team backfired on him today. And then, from the rafters, the judge says, granted, jurors, you may leave for the weekend. Don't talk about or read about the case. The judge says, on juror number 6, under the Fazo case, Second Circuit District Court have broad discretion. The judge says, in the morning, when we address this, I based on the record, I was not sure an inquiry was needed. The judge says, but during breaks, I looked at the transcript from the roving room and from Vire Dyer. There is not evidence of bias from the prosecution. The judge says the juror indicated that he moved to New Jersey with his girlfriend. It may not be permanent, but has been for the past few weeks. That was initially, there was a long break to confer. When the juror returned to court, when the juror returned, the court asked him, and he said he spent 4 to 5 days a week in New York. The judge says in the roving room, he said that his daughter lived in New Jersey. Then he said she lived in the Bronx with her aunt. The Vore Dyer, he said He lived with his girlfriend and Navor Dyer, who lives in New Jersey. These are inconsistencies. There's more in the U.S. letter, which has not been put in docket for the world to see, but it may come out very soon for y'all to see all the lies. The judge says the court does not feel further inquiry is required. The reason we have alternate jurors is if questions arise where there's a question like this, removal of the juror is required. The juror will be dismissed. He should not return on Monday. And Diddy's legal team is going berserk. They got the internet going nuts. Lord have mercy. Oh my God. Diddy's lawyer goes off and says, let me make a record. We didn't want an inquiry because it might have a chilling effect. It is very, 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 very common to have a girlfriend in New Jersey or vice versa. He should have been allowed to explain. These jurors have been attentive. Diddy's lawyer said, I'm concerned that the court is equating inconsistencies with lying or hiding something from the court. If you bring him out here, we can come to some sort of understanding. He has come here every day. I've been in this court for 25 or 30 years. Diddy's lawyer said there have been issues with representation of African American and Hispanic jurors in this district. We're taking a step with this jury. Now we're taking a step backwards. Some say Black and Hispanic jurors don't answer the call. He did. Oh, Diddy's lawyer's going crazy. It had to be something with that juror. And I told you, I always told you, ladies and gentlemen, if the left one don't get you, the right one will. Rico was proven today, without the shadow of a doubt. It was proven by the assistant who made payments with the company credit card at the behest of Sean Diddy Combs. And he also revealed, as you see on your screen, he never set him up on vacation, only on his job. Read the last two lines. Was it part of your job? Yes, said Mr. Perez. Game, set, match. Over. And Brian Aluminum cooked himself. Because when he thought he was cooking, which he wasn't, he helped prove that this woman, Brianna Bongolan, was probably telling the truth. Because Brian Steele disarmed Diddy's excuse when Brian Aluminum said the hotel was put in your name. You had to go set up the room, right? He said yes. And watch what Brian Aluminum said next. He said, if the room was registered to Sean Combs, there might be cameras outside, right? He said, right, which showed you why they never registered those rooms in Diddy's name. Because Diddy never wanted to be caught by the paparazzi. He never wanted somebody to snitch and say Diddy's here and have paparazzi outside ever. So Diddy always used aliases. He used other people to use his aliases to check in and out of these hotels, which disarms his excuse. Because, ladies and gentlemen, so saith the great one, so saith the Rock. If you watch right here on your screen, in the middle of your screen, they made it seem like Jane Doe needed all this money and needed the dependency, so she was willingly doing this. But the assistant said, when he was asked, was Jane Doe strong and independent woman? He said, yes, she was. She was independent, which means that she could have been coerced into doing this. Also, Brian Aluminum, a.k.a. Fake Ass Steel, said You made purchases in sex stores with the company credit card. He said, I did do it. Rico lies. Rico lies. But check this out. Brian Aluminum says, but you don't know if Diddy paid? He says, I don't know. Which gives her reasonable doubt. Diddy's lawyers used, in this case, the fact that, oh, there's no way Diddy could have hung her off a balcony because his company credit card statement said that they had paid for breakfast in New York on a different coast. Sorry, Brian Steele. You slipped up, sir. Because you just showed that even though purchases can be made with a company credit card, you made it clear yourself pretty much. You put in the realm of doubt that it could be Diddy who authorized all those payments. So for the breakfast that y'all said that y'all had on a card and all this other stuff, all that now goes into major doubt because now Frank Black, anybody from Diddy's company could have ordered those rooms in Frank Black's name and used the company credit card to pay for that breakfast while Diddy was in the West Coast hanging this woman allegedly over a balcony. Game, set, and match, baby. And the judge off the top rope, and Diddy's lawyers are screaming to the top of their lungs. Diddy's lawyers are crying in court right now. I told you, they're gonna cry in the car. They're gonna cry in the car. The judge says anything after Diddy's lawyers out here doing all this damn crying, whining like little baby. The judge says, man, anything from the government, man. Y'all got something? The government says, I have nothing to add. Your Honor's ruling to your Honor's ruling. Nothing to add. Mr. Donaldson, Diddy's lawyer, is suggesting we made a decision here based on race. But the focus here is the integrity of the proceeding. The alternates have also been showing up on time, sir. The judge says, in voir dire, he said, I live in the Bronx with my fiance and daughter. There's no reason to lie but to try to get on the jury. Then, on the colloquy, he said that he had just moved to New Jersey, adding that his daughter had been living in New Jersey. He's a liar, and Diddy's team wanted this guy on the case, and it is over with. And I told everybody that came to my channel crying about a juror, I told you, when you're dealing with the great ones, the truly great ones, you don't worry about no juror. I told you guys that. Diddy's team is out here crying tears of defeat in front of the world. Tears of defeat. And I love tasting every last one of them. This was not a white thing. This was not a black thing. This was a right thing. He lied to get on that jury, and his ass got caught red-handed, and he's out of here, and there's nothing Diddy's lawyers can do about it, and they set Diddy up, and I'm going to tell you why they can't do nothing about it. Because to this morning, the judge is smart as a whip. That judge is smart as a whip. The judge said he wasn't going to rule on it this morning. The judge says, I have no reason to believe that this juror lied. I'm not going to rule on this morning. Mr. Combs, would you like to waive your right to use this juror being here or not in your appeal excuse? And Diddy sat up there like a damn fool and waived his right. So in appeal, Diddy cannot use in any appeal that this juror was removed from the jury. He can't use it because in the court of law this morning, he waived his right to use that in any appeal. So he has to go along, whatever the verdict is, that they thought they had one. Diddy's team was so. They were so sure that they had this juror. And everybody was coming here crying every day, thinking, I don't know, I heard about a juror. And I told you, know your role and shut your mouth. I know what the hell I'm talking about. We ain't worried about no juror over here. I told y'all, shut your mouth. Everybody said, but Ticket, they don't have the juror sequestered. They don't want the juror sequestered. Don't you, I don't even want to call y'all that. Don't you people know what the hell is going on? Don't y'all know that they setting Diddy up against himself? They know that he potentially can't help it. So they're waiting to see if he does anything. That's why they aren't sequestering any jury or anything. This is the same dude, Sean Diddy Combs, that got his home raided and still was having freak offs after he got raided by the feds. He has no common sense. This is the same dude that went to jail and was still on jail phones using three-way calls, talking on phones. He has no common sense. This is the same dude that had drugs, tons of cash, baby oil in his hotel room right beside the federal station. He has no brains. They got his ass dead to rights on the Rico today. And that is the most dangerous charge because the Rico is the life. And now today, that's the seal and the casket. And Diddy's lawyers are literally, and the rock means literally, crying like little babies in the courtroom right now. And we're all waving. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Hey, goodbye. Get your ass out of here. Nah, 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 nah. Say what? Say what? Nah, 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 nah. Say what? Say what? Hey, get your lying ass out of here. The judge said, and the voir dire, the juror said, I live in the Bronx with my fiance and my daughter. There is no reason to lie, but to try to get on the jury, says the judge. Then, on the colloquy, he said he had just moved to New Jersey, added that his daughter had been living in New Jersey. Liar. Now, here's the question everybody needs to ask. These known lies were right out here in the face of the public. Why would Diddy's team want a juror who was caught lying on the jury? Why would Diddy's team want a juror who was caught lying? Wouldn't you want all honest jurors? Diddy's lawyers fought for this juror to stay on the trial. They fought for him to stay on the case. The judge says, he said, all my bills go to the Bronx. It's that he wanted to be on the jury. After the break, he says he actually spends more time in the Bronx, which is flat inconsistent with what he had previously said. The juror is shading answers to stay on the jury. Game over, baby. You better always bet on the ticket, baby. You better always bet on the ticket. I'm the biggest. And I told y'all, when y'all came over here asking me ticket, well, what about that juror? I told you, know your role and shut your mouth. I ain't worried about no juror. I told you that. You have faith in what I say. He's going to prison for the rest of his life. He's going to pay for all those crimes he did to all these people. And even though these girls may be super freaks, super bad freaks who sold their soul, they were smarter than Diddy. They took a plea deal. Diddy decided to fight, and he will forever regret that decision. And the judge says, why this is the right thing to move to the alternate? Diddy's lawyer said it's going to be less diverse jury. That's a fact. Seeing that I've seen this in the district, it's paramount to get a representative jury, particularly in this city, is what Diddy lawyer said. I don't confer because Sean Diddy Combs has been on trial before in New York, and he's been found not guilty in the same New York state. Ladies and gentlemen, I try to tell everybody, you always bet on the big ticket, baby. You always bet on the biggest of the tickets. You never bet and you never roll with evil, but you always roll with what's right and not what's evil. And Sean Diddy Combs, it's a wrap for the kids, baby. The judge says to Diddy's lawyer, I heard you, sir. Diddy's other lawyer stands up, Mr. Anglifo. I've got a new argument. There was a state case that there's a difference between the principal jurors and the alternate jurors. I know I'm throwing the ball in the end zone with the NY law. I'm throwing a Hail Mary, says Diddy's lawyer. Diddy's lawyer, Mark Anglifo, tells the judge, Judge, no. Please, Judge, bring me back that juror. I've got a new argument. You can't make this shit up. I'm telling you verbatim what he's saying. I've got a new argument. There was a state case that there's a difference between the principal jurors and the alternate jurors, Judge. I know I'm throwing the ball in the end zone with NY law. It's a Hail Mary. Oh, Judge. Tears of defeat. I love them. I love them. And when you stand on the side of righteousness, this is what happens when buffoonery arises. You're right. I told you guys, don't worry about that juror. When everybody was in here crying and complaining and worrying about that juror, this is the reason why Ticket never worried, because I already knew what was going on. It should have been a red light to everybody, flashing red light, when the judge did not sequester this jury, being that they held Diddy in prison on $3 $50 million bond attempts because they said he was a flight risk and tampering with witnesses and things like that potentially. But you're not going to sequester the jury? I knew it was a setup. They're watching every one of those jurors. They're watching every one of their social medias. They're watching everything about all of these jurors. And I'm going to tell you something. I believe that the prosecution allowed this to go on, noticed something was going on with one of these jurors, looked at juror very closely, and found the information and sent it to the judge. And now Diddy's team is in shambles. Shambles. Because now we have a weekend, y'all, where they have to try to make a move. What move will they make? Now, the other lawyer for Diddy is talking. Brian Steele is up here crying. Mr. Aluminum, Brian Steele. He says, they bring this up now. After weeks of watching the jurors' reactions, now they go back to fire door. Everybody knew, but no one did anything. At the least, bring the jury in to explain. The judge says, I'll consider all of this. But the judge has already told the juror to go home and don't come back. Why is Diddy's lawyers crying about this one juror? Why are they crying about this one juror? Think about it. Diddy's lawyers are crying about this one juror. And the judge says, I'll consider all of this. And all the judge is going to do is come back on Monday and say, I thought about it. Nah, not going to happen. Not going to happen. And it's not going to be a mistrial because they have alternate jurors who have been there every single day. Only thing that happens is next juror up. Period. And here's the thing. If I'm the judge, I assign a black juror to come up from the alternates. So if you have a black juror, then what is Diddy's argument? Because his argument is that they have a black juror off. So if you put a black juror on, unless it was something special about that juror. Uh-oh. But really, I don't need the heat. Heart Pump Project Kool-Aid just sweet. Man. Woo! The judge told him no cry. And Diddy's lawyers are crazy. They're trying to bring... Diddy's lawyers are idiots. How are you trying to use... How is Diddy's lawyers out here trying to use that excuse when they're the dumbass ones? Let me repeat myself again. Diddy's lawyers are the idiots that are the ones out here that got 80% white folks on that's defending Diddy. 80% of Diddy's legal team is white. But you sitting up here talking about this judge? Man, these people crazy as hell, man. Like I said before, he gonna lose, and I will win at all times. You better believe that. And Diddy's legal team is up here crying like little babies. Brian Steele crying. Mark Anglifo crying. Mr. Donaldson is crying. They all whining. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this. This is crazy, man. Oh yeah. And the judge also said that this came up in a colloquy this week. In an organic way, he said. The defense, if the defense knew it before, that's something else. I'm going to thank Mr. Donaldson and Mr. Anglifo for the issues they raised. If there's a change in my thinking, I'll let you know. Everybody's got a price to pay with the $1 Million Man. Money, 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 money. Everybody's got a price to pay with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Everybody's got a price to pay. Game over. He lied. And the judge called him out for lying. And when you have a liar on the jury who lied to make sure he got on the jury, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. And also, shout out to Stephanie Kibbe in the Cash App with the donation. Salute to you. Shout out to Daryl in the Cash App with the donation. Salute to you. Shout out to Sally in the Cash App with the donation. Salute to you. Shout out to Kimberly Cunningham in the Cash App with the donation. Salute to you. Let me hold that beat. Right? Now, some people are saying, oh, Mr. Perez is a terrible liar. That ain't wrong. Because how could he lie when he basically told the truth on both sides? How did he lie? Got to make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Right? So, the judge, with the super kick from out of nowhere, and the government says, or the judge says, excuse me, right? The government says, for the record, we had no idea during voir dire. The judge says, all right, let me have the parties at a sidebar, right? So they have a sidebar going on right now. Diddy's lawyers are irate. Just how I like it. Right at the end of trial. And this is why you have alternates watching every single day, seeing all the evidence. So when you have a capping ass lying on the jury, why would you want a dude who lied on his application on the jury? Why? Why would Diddy's lawyers want a guy who lied on the application just because they say he's black? Why? Make it make sense. If Diddy's lawyers want an honest proceeding, wouldn't you want a guy who didn't lie on his application? Why is Diddy lawyers begging for a dude who got caught lying on his application? Make it make sense, y'all. Y'all gotta make that make sense. Because I know, because a lot of y'all live in lies. Y'all live, because see, if that's the case, all they do is say, if it was so much about a black juror, okay, cool. We'll bring a black alternate juror up. Right? And if they complain about that, then you already know what it is. Which they will. Which they will. It's embarrassing. And y'all already know what's up. It's embarrassing. Right? All right? It's embarrassing. Y'all already know what it is. So they found the liar. And they're probably doing deep investigations and finding all these other liars that's running around here. They're probably doing deep investigations, finding all these other liars, right? That's out here, right? Right? I'm telling y'all what it is. Right? Yeah, y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up. Oh, yeah, he done. Oh, the judge just stir-fried them. They wanted that juror on the jury for a reason. If all this was the case, they would not be upset. if they just put a different juror that's black on the jury. Right? Mm-hmm. Queen Israel, you're a liar and you're blocked. Get out my channel. Go take that shit somewhere else. We don't accept lies over here. You can go lie on any of them other channels. What you're not going to do is you're not going to bring your funky ass over here lying. It's not going to happen. So go get you a wet rag and get the hell up out of here. Point blank period. You're not coming lying over here on this channel. I'm sorry. Take that lie somewhere else. Point blank period. Apostrophe T. Tiger Woods, man. Pop at your T. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. I tell you that right now. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get your ass up out of here. No. He don't have 4 assistants quit. We don't seen all these assistants he had quit because of criminal activity. You a damn fool. Think about that. 4 assistants have came up here and basically testified they all quit because of criminal activity and they didn't want to keep having to be involved in that. And you talking about, I haven't seen no crime. Is something wrong with your brain? No, it's not. You're a troll and you're a bot and you bought and paid for. Period. And you have no shame. Bought and paid for. And they got a surprise for you next week. I got a surprise for you next week. I have a surprise for you next week. Right? Big surprise. You know what I mean? Right? See, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I got morals, man. I can't take up for no dude who bumping dudes in the booty, getting bust put all over him, lathering it up, licking it up. I mean, some of y'all might like that type of activity. Me personally, man, nah, man, I'm against that, bro. I don't roll like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect no dude with bust all over him. That's just not how I get down. I don't move like that. My life ain't lived like that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna have no bust all over him. Ain't nobody gonna have no bust all over him. Huh? Straight like that. So yeah, this is what he doing. He got bust all over him, rubbing the man's bust with his bust on his chest, and got the girl over there rubbing it on him. Then he licking it up, lathering it up and licking it up. And this the dude y'all respect. Y'all respect this nigga? I'm saying, bro, I can't take up for nobody like that. I just can't. And that's all there is to it. So they're begging that juror to stay on. If it was just about the black juror, you can get any other black juror to get on the trial. Why does it have to be just that juror? Make that make sense. Just that juror. Make it make sense. No, we just need that juror. Not no other juror, just that one. Diddy's team ain't fooling nobody but the dumb, deaf, and the blind. Point blank period. He ain't fooling me. Tell you that right now. Yeah, you already know, man. It's gonna be ball juice everywhere around there. I don't have no respect for it, bro. I'm just telling y'all right now, man. You know what I'm saying? I like women, and that's it. Straight up, bro. But yeah, y'all definitely let me know what y'all think, man. They don't found out the juror was lying. He lied in his application and got kicked out. Diddy's lawyers didn't care if he lied or not. Diddy's lawyers wasn't even arguing that he lied on his application. Wouldn't you be bothered if a juror lied on their application? Why isn't Diddy's lawyers bothered that the juror lied on his application? Why aren't they bothered that the juror lied on his application? They're more bothered that he's black than that he lied. He should have told the truth. Point blank period. Point blank period. And now that juror may be under investigation. All because of this shit. And they sitting out here begging that juror to be on the trial. Y'all let me know what y'all thinking, man. This thing is all the way crazy, bro. Diddy's lawyers out here crying and stuff like that. Sound like BB and CC whinings up there, man. This shit is crazy, bro. Sound like a bunch of Carl Thomases up there. I'm emotional and I can't let go. Ass niggas. Straight like that. All that damn crying. They caught that dude red-handed. Man, get his ass out of here, bro. He done. Someone please call 911. Straight like that. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Salute to all of y'all. And there's a surprise that's sealed until next week. So we'll get the unsealing next week. Let's see what else the government comes up with this capping ass dude y'all looking at on y'all screen. Absolute cap. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord works in mysterious ways. Get all these to do him, Harvey Weinstein, all these dudes. You understand what I'm saying? Get all of them out of here. I'm gone.
All right, you guys. So we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A-Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you got to do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do to stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.